We pointed out that the fast of Ramadan, this revelation was there in the Sama Dunya, waiting to come down from the lowest parallel universe, the Sama Dunya, waiting to be brought down. But Allah kept it there for 13 years in Mecca. He never sent it down. And then for 17 months in Medina, He never sent it down. He only sent it down at that moment in time when it had a strategic role to play. And what was that moment in time? When the Prophet, Allah's blessings be upon him, the last of all the prophets of Allah, arrived in Medina, there was a very large and significant community of Jews. There were the rabbis. I said they were the crème de la crème. The intellectual elite of the Jewish world was there in Medina. Why were they there? They were there because they did not accept Jesus, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, as the Messiah. No, they rejected him. And they were expecting the Messiah to come. And they knew that someone was coming in Medina. That's why they were there. And they thought it was going to be the Messiah. No, it wasn't the Messiah. It was someone else. It was the Prophet of Allah. They were expecting someone to come, and he came. When he arrived, it was the most critical moment in Jewish history. I hope you Jews are listening to me. This is the most critical moment in your history, when Muhammad, Allah's blessings be upon him, arrived in that city in which you were located. He prayed in the direction in which you prayed, Jerusalem. And I said that this was evidence as dazzling as the sunshine. This man could not be other than a prophet of the one God, as he said he was. Because in order to face Jerusalem in prayer, he had to turn his back on Mecca, the Kaaba. And the entire Arab world venerated the Kaaba as a spiritual capital of the world. So for an Arab to turn his back to the Kaaba and turn instead to Jerusalem was impossible, and yet he did it. So this was evidence as dazzling as the sunshine. This man could not have been other than a prophet of the one God, like unto Moses, Nabi Musa alayhi salam, like unto Abraham, Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam. But he did more than that. We recall he fasted with the Jews on the days when they fasted, and in accordance with the law of fasting in the Torah. What was that law? That law was no food, no drink, no sexual relation, no sexual intercourse from sunset to sunset for 24 hours. And that's how he fasted. When he fasted with the Jews in that way, in accordance with their law of fasting, as no Arab had ever fasted before in history. Here was evidence as dazzling as the sunshine. This man could not have been other than the prophet of the one God, as he claimed he was. And then we pointed out one thing else, one more thing, that they attempted to test him. And they brought two people who had committed adultery and who confessed about it. Muhammad, alayhi salam, you judge, alayhi salatu wasalam. And then he said, oh, you bring your book. What punishment do you give? And they said, well, we make their faces black and we beat them. Is this the law in your book? Bring your book. Bring the Torah. Bring the Torah. He said, bring the Torah. So if he asks, bring the Torah, and we have faith that we must believe in the Torah, this is part of the religion of Islam. You must believe in the Torah. Can there be a hadith prohibiting you from reciting the Torah or reading the Torah as there is today? The hadith is in conflict with the Quran, of course. And when they recited from the Torah, of course, it became clear. The Torah said the punishment for adultery. I hope the Christians in Trinidad are listening to me. I hope Christians and Jews around the world are listening to me. The Torah said that the punishment for adultery and fornication, sexual intercourse outside of marriage, whether it's premarital or extramarital. Whether it is premarital or extramarital, the punishment is stoning to death. So when the Torah confirmed that was their law, but they said we have this law, then they had to explain. They say, well, you know, when the small people committed adultery and fornication, we had to stone them to death. Or when the big fellas did it, we couldn't punish them like that. So we decided to institute a new law. And that is, for everybody, we'll just make their faces black and beat them. And therefore, they had stopped enforcing the law of punishment for several centuries. No one had ever seen someone being stoned to death in accordance with the Jewish law. And then when the Prophet gave the order, put them to death by stoning, because that is your law. That is your law. That's the law the Christians and the Jews should be following to this day. They were astonished. Here was the Prophet ordering the enforcement of the law in their book, which they were not themselves enforcing. And so here was evidence as dazzling as the sunshine. This man could not be other than a prophet of the one God, as he said he was. The Quran says they recognize him as a prophet the way they recognize their own sons. So then why? Why did they not accept him? Why did they not accept him as a prophet? And up to this day, they will not accept him. Answer? The answer is in this book here. The Religion of Abraham and the State of Israel. This is one of my old books, The Religion of Abraham and the State of Israel, a view from the Quran. You can order it from my bookstore, Imran Hosein.com. ImranHosein.com is my online bookstore. If we accept him as a prophet, the implication is that our book, the Torah, is filled with lies. Because according to the Torah, it is only from Ishaq alayhi salam. Only from his seed can there be prophets. Not from Ismail. No. The Torah had demonized Ismail, the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam, as a wild, excuse my language, but it's there, a wild ass of a man. His hand against every man and every man's hand against him. That's what the Torah says about him. That's false. It's wrong. They put it in their own hands. So because the Torah says the covenant is with Ishaq or Isaac and not with Ishmael, no prophet could come from the seed of Ishmael. And Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is an Arab. He came from the seed of Ishmael. So he could not be a prophet. That's it. Full stop. So they could not accept him as a prophet. But more than that, they now conspire to destroy Islam. You can do what you want. We say to you and we say to the CIA and we say to ISIS, created by the CIA, you can do what you want, you will never succeed in destroying Islam. So they're attempting now to destroy Islam. And I told you what they were doing. And they're attempting to even assassinate him, the Prophet ﷺ. It was at this moment that Allah sent down the revelation, changing the Qibla. This is your Qibla now. Their Qibla is in Jerusalem. This is your Qibla in Mecca. This is called Naskh, Mansukh, cancellation or abrogation. This is the first example. He changed the Qibla or the direction for prayer. Then number two, he changed the law of fasting. That's your law of fasting. You must fast in accordance with that law. This is our law of fasting. And our law of fasting now is either better or similar, but not different. either better or similar, but not different. Naskh or mansukh, nasikh and mansukh means an old law is cancelled or abrogated and the old law is replaced with a new law which is either better or similar, never different. So it is really foolish to find two verses which appear to be in contradiction with each other and to say, well, this one contradicts that one, therefore this one cancels that one. That is schoolboy scholarship. The new law is either better or similar to the old one, never different. And so now a new law of fasting. And the new law is you fast from dawn until sunset. And during the night, you can eat, you can drink, you can have sexual relations during the night. But from dawn until sunset, you will fast. And you will continue fasting for 1 month of the year. Why does he send a new law at this time? Of new law of the direction of prayer, a new law of fasting, and it's about the same time that you have a new law of punishment for zina. Zina, as I said, is either fornication or adultery, that is premarital sexual relations or extramarital sexual relations, zina. And the new law cancels the old one. The old one is rajam, or stoning to death, and the new law is a public flogging or beating for premarital or extramarital sexual relations. So why does he do it now? Why not at that time in Mecca? Answer, because now a new religious community is born. A new ummah is born. And this ummah is going to face towards Mecca, the Kaaba. And this ummah has to be strong, it has to be consolidated, it has to be able to withstand attacks from all sides. And we now live in an age in which Islam is being attacked from every single different direction. And the fast of Ramadan is meant to protect you. So you will not follow them, but you'd follow this law which has come down, the truth which has come down in the Quran. And so the fast of Ramadan has come to deliver power to the ummah, make us powerful, give us internal strength and cohesion. So we will not take our evidence, we will not take our guidance from the CNN or Al Jazeera or in Trinidad from a place called Mali Street. No. We take our guidance from the Quran and from the Hadith to the extent that the Hadith is in conformity or in harmony with the Quran.